Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, let's start. Today we speak about the institutes of civil society and their role in political process and political life. The most popular and the main institute of civil society is political party. It is usually a part of civil society when it's not a rule party, when it is opposition or a part of some groups of interests, but at the same time, political party can be a part of state institutions and a part of government when it is a ruled party, and it creates the decision and realize their party program, election program in real life, in political practice. For today, I am going to discuss with you questions about the definition of political party, types of political party, and the other kind of civil society institution.
I'm sorry, we see only first slide.
It's browser now не завантажується, зависло. I'll try to restart it. And I should mention that political parties exist from the 19th century as other groups and pro-party organizations exist from the Roman Empire and other ancient states, but there wasn't mass organization. That's why we speak not only in more than in 19th century about the political parties as a mass organization, which created in the some interest basement. And now you can see changes, yes?
Yes.
Thank you. The simple definition of political parties speaks that it is a group of persons organized to execute and exercise political power. The main difference between political party and other groups like civil organization, ungovernment organization, lobby, and so on, is that they haven't the goal to have a political power. Only political party created for taking part in elections and at least win these elections and create a government. And I want to ask you about the role of political parties. How do you think political party is more advantages or disadvantages, plus or minus for modern civil life? Who can answer?
Can I try?
Please, Valerie first, who was raised a hand, and then Masha will help her.
Yeah, I think the political party play a crucial role in modern society, and it's important to see a group of people that represent the same belief and you understand what they're talking about, and just you can support a group of political actors and that share the same belief as you do. And it's just important as in any society we see forming groups with similar beliefs, and I think it's just natural.
Thank you. And Masha, your point of view?
Actually, I think that they are very important. Like the main members agree on some policies and programs for the society, and they want to promote the common good. So they want to to do something common for people, and they work actually for important things like register voters, recruit new party members, some find some local, for example, candidates, and I find it really important. They promote a lot of specific ideological or policy goals for our society.
Thank you. And Irina Demyanenko.
Yes. I just want to say that that's why role is like the study of different mining of society and the achievement of maybe some good things for different residents and different group, like religion, maybe preferences, or maybe with different age group.
Thank you, Vladislav.
I think the role of political party is to represent and protect the interests of the people supporting interests of that party. And I think that parties are important because thanks to this mechanism, different opinions can be provided on political area.
Thank you to everyone. As usual, students speak about the negative role of political parties because it's divided people for us and them, because they try to make some propaganda and struggle for their power, can manipulate public opinion because their competitions on elections. But at the same time, as you said correctly, we can live without political parties because they're responsible for creating a policy, for prepare some strategy, and then they have concurrence with each other, and their most popular ideas win on elections. And for such procedure, we can see what is the main ideas, what is the most important questions for today. And we can speak about the role of political parties, like connection between civil society, between people and government. And it is like a bridge which connect both of these parts of political system. And I can change the slide again. I don't know why, but it don't want to change it. There are different types of political parties, and we have many criteria of its typologization. The most popular and the I think you know that it's the dividing political parties into different groups by their ideological basement and position. For such criteria, we can divide political parties into liberal, conservative, social democracy, and so on. One of the first classical ideology is liberalism. Only few words about its creation. It appears in 18th century, like the answer for the creation of third, so-called third class, the group of bourgeois who was in a opposition to aristocrat and monarchy power. They propose to represent different ideas, interest of different group in parliament, and their main ideas was liberty, individualism, rationalism, liberal state, and social justice. For the present time, we speak about liberalism as a base of democracy, and the creators of the main principles of democracy, like dividing power into branches, like popular and national sovereignty, like the human rights, and so on. But at the same time, liberal ideology pay attention to free market, to the free state, and the role of government. They understood like only the safety for the people, not using its sources for create and for rule in economic and social life. And in at the beginning of 20th century, in 30th years of 20th century, there was some changes in liberal ideology because of the great crisis, which made them clear that it is impossible to manage the society without the role of the state in economic and social life. And the neoliberalism, like the new type of liberalism, proposed the idea of welfare state, which should provide the social policy and help some groups of the people to survive in their worst time. And the second historical type of ideology is the conservatism. It's appeared like a reaction for the Great French Revolution. Some of the ideologists can't live in their radical changes, and they try to prove that it should be only traditional base of society in the world, and it is should be evolution evolution changes, not quick and not revolution kind of it. Their main values was pragmatism, tradition, paternalism, and belief in an organic state. Their main values was the state, the religion, the family, and for a long of time they don't support any changes. And only in 1970s they tried to analyze the previous ideas and adapt them to the quick changes to science revolution and so on. And modern conservatism, call it new conservatism, based on the idea of traditional values of the society, but also in idea of free market and so-called monetary policy in economic and social life. And also very famous person is Karl Marx and his co-author Engels. They founded a ideology socialism, which represents the ideas and the interests of class of the workers. And I should mention that in a classical way, Marx don't propose to make a totalitarian country, totalitarian regime. His idea was only a main role of class of workers, and only in Soviet Union it was destroyed. Some ideas manipulated by some ideas of Marx, and to create an idea of dictatorship of the communist political party. For Marx, the main idea of socialism was collectivism, common humanity, equality, workers' control, and social classes. And for the main idea of equality, he proposed the revolutionary way of develop a social future and to take the hold the society under control of these ideas. This point of view, this position, makes them different from the other social political ideology, call it social democracy ideology. His founder, Bernstein, tried to explain that the social equality can be a result of evolutional peaceful transition of society. And he tried to reach this goal by state regulation and social welfare. And the main value for social democrats is justice, idea of dividing all social benefits between different groups. And for today, it was of the most popular ideology, which can develop with the social changes, and it adapted the previous ideas for modern life. And also we have many radical ideologies, for example, extremism, terrorism. We will pay attention for that in our seminar classes because there are no ruled party with that kind of ideology. Because if it is some radical party, it's have the possibility to rule only as a result of some revolutionary actions, not on elections, because they have no support of their people, of nation, for their radical ideas, and they deny the possibility to reach some goals in the present, in the current kind of society. They usually propose to have some radical changes. That's why it can be a rule party only for some crisis type of political system. And also we have other classification of political party. On a photo you can see Maurice Duverger. He divided all the political parties into two groups, cadre and mass-based. Cadre party means that the political party pay attention to their electional part of activity, that they have no members, and they understood all the sympathetic, all the person who vote for this party as a part of this political party. But mass-based political parties use the membership and the payment for this membership to make a lot of agitation, propaganda activities, and their main function to prove their ideas and to educate people in political party ideology. I can mention that usually liberal and conservative party is more often cadre, but the socialists, social democrats is usual mass-based political parties, and they try to have as much members as possible to be active and to have their sources for their activity. Also, we can mention about the such classification as dividing all the political parties into left, center, and right. I'm sure you hear such definitions, such types, because it's very often used in mass media, in different discussion. So what is left political party? It is groups who applies to deep reforms, who is more radical than center and right part of political spectrum. The center is usually balances between traditions and reforms. They like neutral and try to save the worldwide and human-wide values. And the right political parties pay attention for traditional order. They try to save the current political system and their peculiarity. And conservative national party is usually called right. I think you hear about the ultra left, ultra right, and central left, central right parties. And that means that it's not a exact type, but it's like a hybrid, which compare the peculiarities of both of them. And about the spectrum, I can mention that in stable states, stable societies, the mostly the person, the political party is centered by the political spectrum. But when it came some crisis, the political parties of both sides of spectrum became to arise, and in some deep crisis, it will appear some groups like anarchist, populist, like ultra left parties, and at the same time, political parties like Nazis, fascists, which present the ultra right part of the political spectrum. And the types of political party can be divided by the criteria of the role of political power. For this criteria, political party can be ruling, dominate in parliament, as usual in a majority voting system. One political party can be ruling. It is the winner of election. And the second type is opposition political party, which have a minority in parliament, and it is criticized or give some advices to ruling party, but it also have its representation in parliament. And the non-systematic party is some unpopular who have no support and they don't have representative in parliament for this reason. One of the question of today's election is types of party system. The term party system means not only the number of political parties, but also a kind of their relation. I can highlight that in two-party systems, there are many political parties. Like in USA, there are a lot of very small parties in the level of some cities, states. They have a lot of parties, but ruled parties, it's only two, and they change each other by in a ruling role. That's why it's called two-party. And don't make a mistake, don't forget that the definition, the name two-party, don't mean that it's only two-party. It's only two big ruling two-party. I hope you understand. And by the types of political system, we can divide it into three groups: two-party, multi-party, and single party. A few words about each of them. Also, we already speak about some of these types of party system when we speak about different political regime, and the single party party system means that political conflict is not tolerated. It's not permitted the expression of points of view that are fundamentally opposite to the party line of ideology. Sometimes in a single party system, we can have some other political parties, but they should be satellites, collaborates of the main single party, and they exist only for formal peculiarities, for formal signs of the pluralism. And the two-party system means that there are invariably small parties in addition to the two major parties. Sometimes, like type of two-party system, we can speak about the two-party and a half. That means that exists some political party which have a representation in parliament, and coalition can be created only with joining this small political party to one or another major parties. Such system was in the Great Britain, when Liberal Democracy Party should join to Conservative or Labour Party, and for this reason, Conservative or Labour should be ruled. The last type of party system is multi-party. It means pluralism of points of view and approaches. And again, I have a question for you. All of these types of party system have their advantages and disadvantages. Can somebody name the advantages and disadvantages of each party system, of one of them? Please, it's your opportunity to speak, to answer. Who can? Is there any advantages of one single party system? I can give you an example. In Japan or India, for a long time, only one party was ruled in spite of free elections, in spite of existence of other political parties. It's only one political party ruled. Is there any advantage for such type of political party?
Okay, so my name is Sifas Makumson. Yeah, okay, so I've not been joining the class because I was having problems with my health, but I'm a bit okay now. Yeah, so I think for a single party, when there is an emergency, like you don't need to consult a couple of people or groups to be able to make decision. Like one person can make the decision in the single party.
Thank you. It's very simple to make a decision, because they shouldn't find a consensus or compromise with the other political parties. And such system can be very efficient, because they have no conflict in the internal part of their political system. For the multi-party party system? Is there any disadvantages for many political parties, for a lot of ideas, a lot of point of views? Can we find some disadvantages of such party system?
Yes, I think with that many ideas and opinions, the political actors as well as the citizens can be a bit overwhelmed with too much of information and be just disoriented what's going on and how to do it. Just
It also hard to create government to appoint the leaders to their offices when there are a lot of ideas, and it very often can take place some internal conflicts between the different political party with struggle for the power. And about the two-party system, like USA, Great Britain, they change each other. It can be also rather effective party system, but can you find any disadvantages of two-party system? Who knows?
I think since like two-party system, it involves like not one person. It sometimes might be difficult for information, like one person making a decision, because everybody has to agree before the information can or the decision can be made. So I think for two system party, decision making is very difficult.
Thank you. And also I'd like to add that a small party, a new party, new ideas, they almost never can be represented only if they join one of the major party. For other ways, they can be can make a concurrence for these major actors, and they should be only like a civil organization, like a movement, not a real political party. And for ages, for many years, only few political parties will be in a rule. It's also a kind of limit for pluralism and for democracy principles. And as a conclusion, I can tell that all the party systems created by the objective circumstances, like the political system, voting and electional system, because the two-party system is usually a result of majority voting, and the multi-party system is a result of proportional voting. And for such, for their peculiarities, we'll speak for the next time. And now the last question for today about the other institutes of civil society. There are many public organizations which influence on political processes, not directly, but by the public opinion, by organizing some civil actions, activities, like meetings or petitions to the political power. And public organization is one of the main type of institutes of civil society. It can be defined as organization which being a part of public sector by a legal framework at any level. The public organization usually have their statute and some basis, some rules of their activity, and they exist, they work like a internal organization, which join and integrate interests of some group, for example, yours, female groups, veterans, older people, and so on, so on. It can be public organization based on the religion or national criteria, like I don't know, Greek groups in Ukraine, or Crimea groups in Ukraine, like the Muslims group, and many other based on this criteria. Also, it can be something like hobby or the lifestyle of people which invited there in the public organization. I can give some examples, like the organization of kinologues, like dogs, or something like active lifestyle. So there are a lot of public organization in all the in all countries, especially when we speak about democratic countries in modern world, because there are a lot of interests, and that's why all the group can create their own public organization to make the political power and governments know about their possibilities and their wants and interests. Also, not so far away, appeared the organization called social movements. They're different from the public organization because they have only one goal, one idea, and they organized some campaign in some support of some social goal. And after their implementation, they can change into other institute like public organization, or they will appear. And they, the movements can integrate different groups, many organizations, sometimes even political parties, and we can give the examples for such social movements like Greenpeace, or peaceful movement, or feminist movement, and so on. So it's more wide usually like the public organization, but can they evaluate to public organization too? And also we have such type of institute of civil organization like interest group, or sometimes it's called pressure group. It is the association of individuals, organizations, which organized on a base of one or more shared concepts, attempts to influence public policy. It can be a group of workers in some sphere, or a group of businessmen who try to prove that the possibilities, the reasons of some decision making is very actual for today, and they try to have some relations with public government organizations, representatives of some state institutes to prove their ideas. And if they do this as a professionals, if they have some job like to pressure on government institutes, they call it lobby. It is the most organized group of people who work together to influence government decisions that relate to a particular industry, issue, and so on. And lobby can use different methods for pressure on the government decisions. They also can organize some petitions, some meetings. They can work like a part of the group who write a bill and take a part like the expert in this part. But sometimes it can, when especially it is some modern democracies, some transformation political system, they can use some methods like corruption or the individual personal relations for prove their ideas and receive their goal. For this reason, I can ask you the last questions for today. What is the role of the lobby for your opinion? It's more positive or negative in the modern world, modern politics? Who can answer? Valerie, please.
Yes, I think that lobby plays a positive role in politics because people can have say something and just have their voice counted, affect somehow politics directly and decision made by political actors.
Any other ideas? Sasha, please.
Yes, I also think that lobbyists have nothing negative in their role because it's encourage people like to act